Welcome back to the Boondocks Homestead. Hey, are you guys tired of turkey yet? Well, I've got something I'm fixing to make, and I think you all are going to like it, so don't go nowhere. All right, guys, today is, I think, the last day we're going to eat turkey. And I've just about got it all picked apart. I have a little bit extra the dogs will probably get. But I have 2 cups of dark and white meat in here. And we probably won't use all that, though. I'm thinking because I'm just going to make a pot pie this size. We're going to make turkey pot pie. So my recipe calls for frozen vegetables. My recipe calls for heavy cream. But I always teach you guys, use what you got. And I'm not running back to the store because it's going on 5 o'clock. And I'm going to use vitamin D milk because I don't have any goat's milk right now. And I had some vitamin D because I haven't had any goat's milk for a little while. And I had canned mixed vegetables, and that's what we're going to use for this recipe. But it's not going to change the taste any. It's still going to taste good, okay? So, and we need some broth, and I've got my rooster broth, my liquid gold, and we're going to need some butter and some thyme. And I just grabbed this because it was on the shelf because I didn't want to have them in a hurry, kind of, and I didn't want to have to seal my jar back from my time that I grew in the garden, remember? So I'm just going to use that off the shelf. I got some salt and pepper here. We're just going to add to taste, and we'll get going. I'm going to get you over here by the stove where you can see. All right, guys, I am going to try to split my recipe in half and not make a great big batch of this because I only want enough to feed Tim and I. And this is probably going to be too much, and we really only want to eat it probably one night. But I'm going to make it this big just to show you guys, okay? And you may have a bigger family. But I'm going to make one this big. So I'm going to cut back on the ingredients as we go, okay? So just, I'll put it down underneath the description underneath this video, and then you can adjust it to your family, or you can do the same as me. But we're going to start out, and I'm going to put you down here where you can see. We're going to start out with about a half a stick of butter. Now we're going to get us some flour, just some all-purpose flour, okay? And I still got to make our pie crust. I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to go ahead and make this to show you and get this out of the way, and we'll set it aside, and then I'll make my pie crust, and then we'll do it. Okay, now let me get a whisk because it's kind of like you're making gravy or a roux or something, okay? If you've watched my videos before, you know this is how we do it. And I may not need a complete 1/3 cup of this. I don't think I will. I think that's going to be plenty right there. And do my broth. Okay, we're going to put some salt and pepper in here. Don't think I put that much in there. I've got Redmond salt, and it's sea salt, and it's big, and it hardly comes out of those holes. Okay, I do like a lot of pepper though. Okay, now we're just going to cook this for a minute. See how that's kind of cooking? So you cook that flour. All right, and then we're going to use about probably 2 cups of broth. I'm going to put, you can use chicken broth. I've got rooster broth from our roosters. I did turkey broth the other day. But this is from last year. These are from our roosters last year. Okay, we're going to pour this in here. Woo! See how that thick that's getting? Getting thick quick. Okay. I'll stir this for a minute. Make sure all those big chunks of flours. We'll just kind of Cook this till it gets a little thick. Okay, you see how that's bubbling and it's getting thicker? Now we're going to put, if I had heavy cream, I'd put heavy cream in it, but I don't. We're just going to put some vitamin D milk in here because that's all I have on hand. My goat's milk would work really good, and that's what I would be using probably if I had it, but I don't. I do have some frozen, but I didn't have time to. Okay, now we're going to pour some of this in here and make it creamy. See how it's getting kind of creamy? I really didn't need a whole cup of this. But since I got it out, we're just going to use it. Okay, now we'll cook this for a little bit. You know, there's so many ways to cook turkey. So many things to do with it after you've cooked it. This is just one way, and I'll tell you about some others later in a little bit. But this is just a really good, warm meal, you know, on a cold day like today. It's perfect. And I tell you what else, sometimes I've taken the gravy that I've had and used some of the gravy from the day of Thanksgiving. Okay, now we're going to turn this down. Really got that going. Okay, now we're going to add, let me turn this off. We're going to go ahead and add our turkey, and I don't think I'm going to need all this, you guys. But we're going to add some. Let me get rid of this for a minute. Get this off the fire for a minute. I don't want to burn it. And that looks good. Okay, now we're going to put some vegetables. I don't think we're going to need all these vegetables either. I really don't. And I cut this in half. And I usually make a couple, though, and we eat on them for a few days, but we are just kind of burnt out on turkey. I mean, we like turkey, but we're just kind of done with it, you know? You get to that point, and it's like, okay, you don't want to waste it, but you're just kind of done with it. Okay. We used almost all of it. We did? All right, looky there. Now, if that seems a little too thick for you, if y'all are thinking, well, that looks really thick, you could put a little more cream or milk or something in it. Ain't gonna hurt it a bit, okay? But I think it's gonna be okay because I don't want it to be runny in my pot pie. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that set right there, and we're gonna make the pie crust. Hey guys, I forgot to put a little bit of thyme in it, so we're just gonna do it right now. Okay, I forgot to do that. Let's see what, I don't remember how much we're, a teaspoon, so we're just gonna put a little less than a teaspoon. Okay, it gives it that pot pie taste, you know what I mean? There we go. Got it all stirred up in there. All right, now let's make this crust. Okay, now let me get my salt. I want to put you down here where you can see what I'm doing, not so much looking at me, but see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna put in about a cup of flour. Nah, we're gonna put a little lower cup. Let's just do let's do 2 cups. Okay, that's probably 2 cups right there, or almost. That's probably 2 cups. You guys, I never can make up my mind. I just have a hard time measuring stuff. You know what I mean? I just do. I look at it, and I go by what I see, what I feel, what I smell, what I, I use my senses. Okay, so we're going to put some salt in it. And yeah, look, see all those different little colored, that's my Redmond salt. It's good for you guys. It's not that table salt. Anyway, good for your body. Let's get us a little bit of lard. I'll be glad when we get our pigs done and I can render our lard. That'll be good. And I don't have to use the store stuff. I just hate using it. Okay, then we're going to crumble this up. You really want to crumble it up in here, your lard, so it's evenly dispersed, in your flour. That's what we're going to do. Now, if you want to use, but you don't have to use lard. If you guys have Crisco or vegetable shortening or any of that other stuff, use what you got. Don't go out and buy anything special for it. I mean, if that's what you use, uh, you know. And I'm using unbleached all-purpose flour. You know, you use what flour you got. I wouldn't use self-rising or bread flour, but use any kind of all-purpose flour that you have. Okay, and same way with salt. And you'll hear me say, well, this is better for your body, this is better for your body, and it is, but you use what you have, okay? Don't let that hinder you from making anything. Use what you got. Okay, we're going to pour in, oh, you guys, I'm not measuring this, probably 1/4 of a cup of water. We're going to go with 1/4. If you get a little too much, you just pour a little flour, put a little more flour in there. If you don't have enough, then you put a little more water in there. That's how you fix that. That's how you do that. Okay, that's just a perfect ball of dough right there. Okay, that's what we're going to use. Bottom and top crust, okay? Let me get this stuff out of my way. Get my rolling pin. Salt out of my way. Okay, now I'm just going to half this dough. We're going to have half of it for the top crust and half of it for the bottom crust. Flour for my pan. Now this is for the bottom. Okay. Pull this out just a little bit more. All right, let's get our pie plate. Put this on here, just like so. Okay. I'm going to go ahead, before I pour our stuff in there, I'm going to go ahead and make our top crust. Just do the same thing here. I may have made too much filling. In the event that you do, if it's too much, you just make you another pie shell. Or, you know what else you can do? You can freeze it. You can freeze it and make you another one some other time. That would be good too. I freeze a lot of stuff. Okay. All right, I think that's going to do it. Let's set it on this side. And you know, it ain't got to be perfect. It's just a pot pie. Don't have to be perfect. Okay? All right, let's put some of this in here. This is so heavy. See how much we got here. I think that's going to be good right there. I think that'll be plenty. Well, put a little more. That will be plenty. See, we didn't have that much left over. Okay. That looks good. Now, let's put this lid on here, or this top. Okay. Let me get my thing out of here. All right, let's do this. Then just cut that off. Okay, done. All right. There you go. There's your pot pie. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a few slits in it so the steam can escape. And you don't want it to bubble over. And it might bubble over anyway, so I always put a cookie sheet underneath of it, so if it does, it don't destroy my oven. Okay. I just made some slits in it like that. All right, we're going to put it in the oven at 400 degrees for 35 to 45 minutes. And you'll just watch it, because really all you're doing is cooking the crust. Everything else in it is done. We're baking the crust. Okay, I'll bring you back when it's done, guys. All right, you guys, it's done. It's all done. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty?
Yeah, it is. Looks like a pie.
It's a turkey pot pie. Okay, we're going to cut this and we're going to try it for y'all. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys after I cut into it. When I was cooking it, I told you that, you know, you might have thought it looked a little thick, but it is actually a little runnier. So that's how you're going to want to cook it, okay? So, because you don't want it running out of your crust. All right, ready?
Sure. I'm hungrier than a full-grown kid.
You're hungrier than a full-grown kid.
Yes.
It's hot. You better blow it. Tell me how it is and be honest. We eat this every year, but
Popeye.
Let me taste it. Is it good? Now, I didn't use frozen vegetables. I usually use frozen vegetables. Can you tell a difference?
No.
And I usually use, well, whatever I got, but cream. I think I used cream last year, the heavy cream. Can you tell a difference from the milk to the cream?
I think it needs salt.
I put a bunch of salt in there.
I like salt. Where are you going?
I might have had a turkey bone. That's okay. Hey, we told them in the beginning, this is us, we're real, and this is raw. So here we go.
Yeah, you're real.
You're real too. Okay, so usually what we eat with this is what? What do we normally eat with this?
Big old yeast roll would be good.
I have bread. I have sourdough bread. Homemade bread. What else?
Cottage cheese, maybe.
And what else?
Maybe a beet.
Yep, that's exactly what we eat with it. Cottage cheese and baby beets. And sometimes I like pork and beans. I don't know why.
Mixed with cottage cheese.
Mixed with cottage cheese. That's good. That's good, isn't it? Okay. All right, guys. So now you know what to do with your leftover turkey. Oh, and I also told you I was going to tell you there's other things you can make with leftover turkey. And I fixed it. What is it? What's some of the things? Turkey hash. My mom used to fix that when I was a kid.
Salad.
Turkey salad. Yep, I make that too. Instead of chicken salad, you make turkey salad. And the chicken or the turkey hash, it's really good. It's similar to this, kind of, and you just put it over bread instead of making a pie crust. You could do that. But there's a couple different things you can eat it with. And then after about the third day, we're like,
Turkey
no
down.
more turkey. Yes, turkey down.
Don't start gobbling.
We don't gobble, but we feel like we're going to gobble. Okay, well, we're going to eat dinner, take a shower, and go to bed. And start our week over tomorrow, Lord willing. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next video.
Y'all have a blessed night.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
See ya.